Welcome in, beautiful souls. So glad that you're here today. I received a download this morning, so I wanted to share it. And I don't know if anybody else has been like suffering with like weird head pressure, but it's been for me all morning since I got up. It's been like that, but I slept terrible too, so that could have a lot to do with it. So, I have a feeling that there's like a lot of EMF waves or something coming at us. So I want to get into this reading here. And it was very interesting because I've been getting like the Octurians been coming in a lot lately. So I wanted to tap in a little bit and find out what's really going on. So I was asking like, why are so many people like awakening right now? And that's actually going to be the name of this video because, they wanted it to be, but they were saying like the mission is energetic and it is starborn origins of interdimensional seeding from systems like the Pleiades, Sirius, Orion, and there's others. But they said that because these civilizations operate at frequencies beyond what we can currently understand, because they descended into our lower vibrational form to anchor the light into Earth. So that's like you, me, and others like us. So they're saying here that it's all to activate the Earth's living network of consciousness, and the beings from these systems that they speak through us through dreams and telepathy and crystalline downloads. So this is the memory of our origins trying to break through the veil, and their frequencies are buried within our DNA, which you probably know. And they come to anchor love as the template into the grid. So that's what we come here for. So they have, reincarnated, and then of course we end up being them. You know what I mean? You know how it goes. And then that grid is still here and has been dormant, waiting for those with the memory to reactivate it. So we are the mission. So I pulled out a couple decks here, and some cards started flying out. So we have this one here, which is called Heaven on Earth. Now, Heaven on Earth is been talked about, like even in the Bible, I believe they talked about that. It's about the Garden of Eden or whatever. And Eden really was Lemuria when it was here, because it was all peace. There was no war or anything like that, right? And it was all just a lot of love and frequency and communication through telepathy. So with this card here, this is about when you feel into the oneness with all. So when your awareness has expanded and is tuning into like your brothers and sisters, to the animals, to crystals and the plants, and the love that you hold is about the truth, right? So the clearer your love within yourself, the more you can see and feel heaven on earth. Like me, I don't see things about war and, suffering and stuff like that, because I never tune into that. Like I never notice that. It's not a part of my world. I don't even really know what's going on in the world, to be completely honest with you. Like I know what goes on in my small world, and I know what goes on in the world that I've created for myself. But outside of that, I don't give my energy to anything that is negative. And so we have in the Hemi put it into like two categories almost. So we have this over here. So this is about ether and matter. So the ether and matter is what brings heaven on earth. This has a lot to do with the dolphins and where they come from, Sirius B, right? So they came here to bring the love and joy, just like the whales did. Now, also they bring like a frequency with them. And because the water holds memory, as long as they are constantly doing their singing and their chattering and that kind of stuff, it keeps that water charged, is what I think is happening. Now, the other thing too is that could explain a lot of why, because I used to ask that question when I was a kid all the time, and I would see them like, big mass culling of these beautiful creatures, right? And it used to, upset me so. And, I think over time, I think what I've understood it to be is they did that because they knew that because we're not even allowed to interact with whales and stuff like that. We're not allowed to go swimming with the dolphins unless they're in like a bay and the dolphins come to us. I mean, some are in captivity, so they could do it that way, but in the wild, we're not allowed to approach them. You get really big fines and stuff, but yet it's okay for them to slaughter them, you know what I'm saying? So, I just believe that the ether and the matter has, with these figure eights here, which is like the affinity, it's, like what you're putting out is what you're going to receive back. Like me, I don't put anything out that's negative, so nothing negative comes back to me, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not saying nothing negative comes back to me because, we all are human and we're here to experience things, but I'm thinking more like in the lines of like, I don't get anything coming in on my YouTube feed or through, like I'm not on like any of the other social medias. I've gotten rid of all of them. I don't entertain any of them anymore. I find that it's all they're doing is harvesting your energy, so I don't engage in that. Now, and then we have the awakening card that came out. Now, the awakening, this is about the DNA activations. It's about all that deep healing. It's about your consciousness. It's connecting to the beings from these systems. Because a lot of them are our guides, right? So we're talking about angels and elementals and of course the cosmic beings too, right? Now, the other thing that came up was an actual Arcturian, which I just thought that was really curious because I have been receiving a lot of cards coming out about Arcturians in the past few weeks. So I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to find a little bit more information. So I was not surprised when it came. Actually, these all came, they fell on the floor. So, I mean, I don't even know how I ended up figuring to put them in the order. I just, I don't know. My hands are guided to do things. So here with this Arcturian card, this is how they are helping to remove the negativity and helping with the DNA healing. They also have a lot to do with sacred geometry. As you can see here, there's like sacred geometry going on. They actually had me pull out a new sacred geometry deck that I do have. That's, it's fairly new. I've only used it in a few readings. So it's also like about advanced spiritual guidance, which, you can already surmise that because, we come from these systems, right? And, so they are part of our ancestors, so they're not going to leave us without guidance, right? So receiving pure, like you see here, like this pure white light. I don't know if you can tell in this card, if you can really see, but there's like a DNA strand going up here on the side. And then you can see like all these different faces in, you know what I mean, with this. So, this kind of gives me like the higher selves, like as you're ascending with your healing. And then like here, this white light is coming straight down into the third eye to activate, purify, regenerate, I heard. So receiving pure white light to integrate into your whole being is really to help bypass that linear mind, to receive that multi-dimensional geometry, so that it goes, because our minds are so much slower than our heart. What's going to happen is it comes right in, it goes right into your DNA, and then it goes right to your heart. Like your heart, our feelings always feel things before our brain registers it. So so I believe that they're using the heart-mind coherence thing to do this type of work. Now, the Joy of Life card here, actually, yeah, okay, so they want to talk more about the Arcturians. So the Arcturians, they're going to start transforming the fear into love. So people that are fearful right now, they're going to do that. They're going to help transform that into love. They're going to take some of that confusion and turn that into clarity. And clarity is always about truth, right? They're going to transmute some sacred light codes from like higher dimensions. And like our minds are not able to understand it at the time. But like I said, our hearts definitely will be able to feel it. they're going to be starting to clear some blockages as well, and also with those implants and portals that have been trying to divert us from our creator intentions. And this card, when it comes out, it's about like healing these issues that are within us. So there's a lot really going on. So, and I just noticed that now that I started talking about all of this, that pressure on my head has actually gone. So maybe that's what that pressure was all about. Maybe they were giving me this today. Yeah, that's weird because it's completely gone. So the joy of life here, this is about like to trust and to let go and to flow in the love. And that the love is your birthright. You know what I mean? We're not here to just experience grief and heartache. We're here to experience joy and love. And that is something that, a lot of us have not been able to experience, especially if you're from these star systems, because the negative has wanted to make us suffer so that we wouldn't come online, so that we wouldn't get the guidance from our ancestors, from these cosmic beings that are, or elemental beings that are, or angels even, that are our guides, right? Some of our guides, not all of our guides, but some. And this heart opening here, they would kind of want me to give you this weird story that I have, but I don't know if I want to. So there's this heart opening here, or opening heart. This is Mary Magdalene and Jesus, and their love was very pure and beautiful. And, that's where they knew they had the right to love and be loved. And this is where, again, they're going to be doing like this heart healing and healing of grief issues. There's going to be some more heart chakra openings. No matter how much we've healed on our own, there's still some things that we still need help with. And that's what this is going to provide. Now, the depths of love here, again, this comes back to the ether of matters, because this is from Sirius B, because the dolphins come from Sirius B, as do the other water creatures. But the depths of love is about letting go of the attachments and the fear, and not to be afraid of the love, not to be afraid of these cosmic ancestors and elementals and things like that are going to come bring the healing and activate these codes and whatnot, right? So they don't want us to have any fear over this. And that, this is really what the awakening is all for. Your highest form of love is to let go of these old attachments. And, really, that old saying, if you love it, set it free. So, old attachments, of course, can have a lot to do with, people that, you do love, and, like you didn't want to let them go because you do love them. And, but again, if you love them, set them free, because you setting them free and rising into your awakening is really what's going to help them eventually live in a better world, because, you have a purpose here. And, the purpose again, I see, this reminds me of the grid, you know what I mean? So, okay, so now we move on to this card here, which is the rising of the Pleiadian. And what's funny is, like, I thought it was just these ones, and then these two, I was pulling out different decks, and I moved my chair, and I just happened to catch it at the corner of my eye. These two cards were face down on the floor, and I was like, oh, I didn't even see them. So I scooped them up and made room for them. So this is like Pleiadian frequencies rising to Pleiadian frequencies. Sorry. So this is about the sacred bond of the healing, and it's, again, to clear space for the higher energies. And this card, when it comes out, it's a sign that you are ready. You're ready to be nurtured by the activation of your cosmic remembrance. You have the ability to access your Akashic records from times when the Pleiadian's information has been suppressed. So I think, you know, this is going to take a little bit of time. This isn't something that's just going to happen overnight. And, you know, like healing takes time, and there's no rush for the healing. So this could take, you know, months, you know, years, you know, we're all, because there's so many of us that's why there's just so many that are starting to awaken now. So there's people like me and maybe some of you that have already are in your co-creative space, you know what I mean? But then there's others in between, the new awakenings in us, you know what I mean? So there's so many different levels going on. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. And then we have the know thyself. And I see that there's 2 5s here, which, you know, have a lot to do with change. They also have 2 8s here, and the 2 8s have a lot to do with manifesting. And I guess with the affinity too, right? So the other cards that popped out is this one here, and this deck here is the Merlin deck, the modern Merlin, yeah. So when I split it, it came out on multi-dimensionality, go beyond 3D, and I thought, well, that's interesting already. So and then underneath is dreaming, imagine, dream, envision. So you need to really envision a new world, right? Innovation. Think outside of the box, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull out one of these. And this is actually, I had to look at it because I was like, oh, what's this number? And it was another 8. So this is about the co-creation, right? Has a lot to do with like co-creating with love and healing. And number 20. This one's Spirit. Okay, so we're going to set that. Oh, do you want this out? Yeah, because it has a lot to do with the okay. See what else they have here. I'm going to move this card aside here. Move it over here. Whoa. Okay. Look at that lineage. Nothing is forgotten. Do you want all these cards? So we have lineage. Yeah, and it comes right under Arcturians. Expansion. Look. Evolve beyond. Transcendence. Yeah, look at that. Is that the next one? Transcendence. That comes under there. And then we have guidance. Trust your source. Yeah. Possibility. There are no limitations. Is there another card? Oh, look at that. Certainty. Embrace the known and mysterious. Another 5. You know, they have the 5 coming out under the 2 5s here. So these cards, that's why they were talking about these, good grief. Geometry, yeah, the sacred geometry. So some of this geometry could be helping to activate. You know, this looks like it could have like an eye. This looks like a starburst. Yeah, you know, I got that starburst too. You know, and I was wondering if that's what, when I started, you know, seeing this card come out, I was wondering if that, because I was doing a meditation and I got this like starburst and it was just so fast and so bright. And I was wondering, like, is this like some kind of activation or something they were doing? I wasn't sure. I'm still trying to figure it out, and they won't really give me any details on it. So, you know, I'm not supposed to always know everything. And then sometimes when I'm like doing personal readings and I give out information, they kind of got a little ticked off at me there one day, and I was doing a reading for somebody and I gave them information and they were just like, you need to shut up. And I was just like, oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you that, sorry. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't know, my mouth just like, it just fell out, and then before my mind actually was able to process, I wasn't supposed to say anything. So it happens. Okay, so they wanted me to tell you about something. So I did this channeling session with a healer that is part of the the subscribers here on my channel. Well, not my channel, but their channel. And I ended up having an encounter with a Sasquatch. And it's what we call them here in Canada. The Indigenous have named them, but actually they like going by the name Saskets. And I was channeling him for over an hour. Of course, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize my eyes were closed. I was in like a trance. Anyway, a few days later, I was doing another meditation and he appeared again and he said, I want to introduce you to someone. And I'm like, okay. And it was a mantis being. And it was like talking to me a little bit, but what it did, it was weird because like on my temples, I could feel like this pressure of, it was like 2 fingers like on either side of my temples. And I mean, it wasn't hurting, but I could feel the pressure of it. And it just, you know what, even after I finished the meditation, I could feel that pressure for about an hour later. And I wasn't really sure what they were doing because it was all around the time that I, like, you know, and then in between that, I got that flash of light in my mind. And I don't know, some weird things have been going on. So if you've been encountering any of this type of stuff, you know, don't be fearful of it. Don't allow that to rule, basically, I guess. So, where do you want me to begin here? I'm moving this aside. Well, I'm curious about what's on the bottom, though. June companions. You know, look at all this. Little number 34, another 7. You know, all these butterflies and dragonflies. A lot about transformation here. I don't know which one to go with here. Okay. Oh, I should put that over here. Realization. Oh, my dog is at it again. They've been really a pain at the past. You know, I don't know if it's the energy or what's going on, but... Star? Star? Come on. You're not eating yet. Come on. Come on. Good girl. The cat had us up bawling all night. He was in and out, up and down. I don't know what was going on. And then, of course, the dog got fed super early this morning. So now it's, you know, late afternoon, but she thinks it's like supper time because whatever. It's annoying. Okay, so what do we have? Realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth. No kidding. As well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Oh my God. And you know, like I shuffled these cards and then just set them aside. Oh, look, the remembrance. Oh, wow, Spirit. Okay, so remembrance. And universal love. Yeah, no kidding. So remembrance. I've never seen this card before. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone. I think there's a misspelling here. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body. Yeah, it's a misspelling. Providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. So this is exactly what's going on here. I'm going to move these cards down here. I don't want to cover these up because they're so beautiful. Universal love. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. No kidding. Sacral chakra. You know what? And that has a lot to do with this card here, the rising of Pleiadian frequencies, because it's about clearing out these lower, You know, I noticed that I know it says sacral here, but it, you know, it gives me a lot of the sacral and the solar. This is about also clearing out the lower chakras, right? The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. Another 5. So you have 555. And then, of course, as soon as I said that, I got all froggy throat here. Okay, move that aside. It's enough of that. Yeah, the golden age here on the bottom. Yeah, that's what they say. A little more dolphins. That's what they say, that we're in the golden age. Progression, foresight, peace. You know, 53 makes another 8. Spirit, what's going on with my throat? This is an important message. They're trying to block me. So, hold on. Let me get my rose spray out here. Mary Magdalene. Sisters of the Rose. Oh, this card left behind here. Magical realms, belief, confidence, and co-create. No kidding. Isolation. Yeah, the isolation's going to be done. Destiny, purpose, passion, service. Oh my God, Spirit. Not even doing any... little sacral portal. Look at that. You get your sacral chakra and the sacral portal. Wow. Creativity, intimacy, and inhibitions. Yeah, because of the love, right? Yeah, look at that. Releasing purification, toxicity, letting go. Breakthrough, faith, freedom, and catalyst. Oh, that looks like a cosmic being. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, look at the star system here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, because they've been exiled, right? Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, so your purpose is the universe. Okay, so here we go. We have relaxation, so progression, foresight, peace, or realization, sorry, the golden age. So progression, foresight, peace. Then we have remembrance, magical realms, belief, confidence, and co-create. You know, and here it's 38, and this is a 28, so there's a 10, right? So there's like a cycle. So then we have universal love, and then we have destiny, purpose, passion, service, and then we have the sacral chakra and the sacral portal. So creativity, intimacy, and inhibition. Number 34 again. It's another 7. Okay. Oh, I got an extra card. So then we have releasing, purification, toxicity, and let go. And breakthrough, faith, freedom, and catalyst. I don't know which card you want. Oh, okay. All right. This makes sense. This is pretty cool. So the releasing, yeah. That's what they're doing, because they're bringing in the rising of the Pleiadian frequencies. It's going to help let go all this negativity. And okay, I got to move this deck here. I don't know if I even can... These are even on camera. They're making the thing so far over. It's because I don't want to cover up these either, right? These cards are so pretty. I don't like covering them up, but I mean, there's so many other pretty cards too. Okay, let's see here. All right. I'm going to split it on Nonagon. 54. Okay, I'm just going to leave this set aside for the moment here. Okay, so there's some other cards they want to bring out. Oops. Solutions, Galactic Dream Star. Okay, Spirit, what do you want out here? I've got the weirdest smells going on. Like I can smell like roast beef cooking and just weird, different smells going on here. Focused, guardian, sacred builder. This has to do with the healing, these pyramids here. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of these. Before I knock them all on the floor. Move them out of the way. Okay, so what do you want here for this one here? Just one. Full spectrum. Yeah, they're activating everything. Yeah, see that they're showing that again here with this awakening, the full spectrum. Crystalline grids. To another card. Yeah, well, crystal keys, another 22. It's 22, 22, it's another 44. Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn this over because I think this has something to do with it. So let me put it like this. Okay, so let's do these over here, and these here. Oops. See here. Oh, Star Child on the bottom. Certainly are. There's a lot of star children here on Earth doing the same work. Well, and different types of work. Okay, let's see what you want here, Spirit. Just the one. Galactic orientation. Yeah, well, ascension. Yeah, I knew that because they brought out the awakening, right? So there's going to be an ascension happening. Okay, let's see what else. Little Mary Magdalene on the bottom. Sacred vessel. Yeah, sacred vessel. Okay. Oop. I guess that's what you want. Well, another spiritual awakening. Baba Yaga. Interconnectedness. Understanding the inner workings. Yeah, that's what they're bringing in. Is there another card? No. Okay. On the bottom here is Hilarion. Divine emergence. Be seen. Let the world know your gifts. Okay. Let's see what this is here. Okay, Spirit. They want a controlled pull. Whoops. Jeez. Okay. These cards are a little sticky. That's the Alm. Split on 18. I don't know what these cards mean. Okay, that's what you want out of this deck here. Nucleus crossing over. It's another 40. See, their hands are out here. Ooh. Is that crossing over? That doesn't mean what I think it does it? The Taurus. Oh, 55. Okay, let's just take those, and I don't know what these cards are, so we'll have to I'll have to read them, figure them out here. So I'm going to take these, though. Well, there's that 24 yet again. Do you want that card? Okay. So, we have this one, and this one. Okay, let's see what else is here. Discernment, Vega, Fearless Journey. Number 13. We have eagles and bears and wolves and leopard. I think that's a leopard. Discernment. It's a fearless journey. What's this one here? Collaboration. The Alliance. No kidding. You know, see all these different beings, all these cosmic. We have angels and fairies and all kinds of mythical creatures. Wow. You know, they talked about that too, about the elementals. With the awakening, you're gonna be guided by like angels and elementals and cosmic beings. You know, and it comes right out on the awakening too. Well, there's the awakening card right there. And the discernment is about the ether and the matter. Okay, so let's see what this one is. Endless opportunities. You know, and the orbs, they were showing me like healing orbs. I wonder if you guys are seeing healing orbs. Look at all those butterflies. There's a lot of transformation going on. You know, you could even be getting like, yeah, see, I don't know if you can see that in this card, but it almost like this light spiraling into her eyes. See this light? And it's like a spiral that goes into her eye. So, you know, that's another 23. And you know, on the bottom of this deck was 23. Oh, no, it's 24. So, never mind. Why did I see 23? Anyway, doesn't matter, I guess. I say it doesn't matter, but then I go looking, right? Oh, it's 32. Okay, it's a lot of fives. It's, you know, there's a lot of change that's going to be happening. You know, this also, it gives me like seagrass, right? Though I don't believe that's what it is, but it gives me that seagrass thing. The solar plexus, no kidding. Radiant illumination. Just like I said, you know, they're talking about those, clearing out those, that's where like the fear and all the stuff that they're going to be working on, bringing in, activating, clearing, letting go. Little star child, no kidding. Another spiritual awakening. I just keep feeling like there's another one of these cards. It just keep drawing me back to that deck, the Ascension. Oh, can't have those, can't have naked bodies on this channel. Good grief. Do you want another one of these cards? That card was partnership, but, I mean, they did say that it was like a sacred bond. Oh, maybe you wanted that card, did you? Okay. Yeah, portal. Yeah, they did. They mentioned the portal a couple times here. There's going to be a portal that they're opening. Well, then you have the. Oh, maybe it's going to start because they have the Lions Gate portal, which is going to be the 8-8. So it could be that they're talking about. Yeah, your health. You know, this is your connectedness to both of the realms, so that, you know, that's why I was saying earlier it could take a little bit of time, because, you know, it could be catastrophic to your health if they went too quickly. You know what I mean? They can only do a little bit at a time. Same with me. Like, they can only do a little bit at a time. Like, they did that flashlight, and then they waited, like, I don't know, 3 days, and then they did that pressure thing on my head. Now, I have no idea what those were for, or what it was going to do, or, I don't know. Oh, look at that. Number 14. Another 5. Okay. I think they want me to grab this book. Hold on, let me, it's kind of blocked with my microphone. Let me grab this little grippy thing. They kept drawing my attention to the book too, but I didn't want to knock the microphone over to get it. So let's see here. You want just the number 5, or... I just heard them say 555. A significant change is occurring, always for the better. It's a good idea to call upon heaven for help with life changes. They told me to go to 5. That was just the 5. Huge changes are rumbling throughout your entire life. To keep these changes on the highest possible course, be sure to keep your thoughts positive and stay centered in prayer and affirmations. So how many 5s had come out here? So we had, like, I don't know, I didn't keep track, because we have the number 32, we have 14, we have 23, and then we have like a bunch of 5s over there. And then we have 5 here. I mean, geez, that's like... Jeez, that's like, what, 8 5s or something? I don't know. I didn't keep track, like I said. But again, they're talking about like huge change, so that's really good, right? But I mean, you know, when change comes too, it's not always how we expect it. Yeah, it's out with the old and in with the new. Welcome these changes as they bring about new blessings. So that's like number 5, right? So, but because there's so many 5s out here, I mean, it could be rocking your world too, right? It could be something that's really shaking things up a lot. You know, awakenings are not easy, like especially in the beginning, because, you know, usually you're stripped of all that doesn't serve you. You know, like people that don't truly love you, like you need to be loved, and jobs that just mistreat you and things like that. And though it's a scary and, conflicting mind effery, okay, I'm going to read these here, see what they want here, because I don't know what any of these cards mean. Let's see here. So there's endless opportunities coming in for some of us. Well, for all of us, I guess. Okay, so, do you want this one first? Okay, so the nucleus, I think this is all about the self. 42. Core issues. Yeah. Yeah, that's why the discernment is right there. The ether and matter. So what do you want here? Pulling the nucleus card shows that you are at the core of an issue or the center of debate. It is the place of beginning and of inspiration. It is a position of leadership from which to move into the world or out into space and gain your wings. This is a time of energizing ideas and coming to terms with issues. There are those who will make unreasonable demands on your energy, and in so doing, ask you to make a decision or take a position that may not be in your best interest. Be advised not to ignore or glaze over the situation. Take a proactive stance and know that this will help you find the solution to your question. And that's where it has the discernment, right? That's where you have to really weigh things out. Vega, fearless journey. What is this crossing over one? Transition. Yeah, it's the collaboration here, the alliance, they're bringing in this transition to bring you into the golden age of the frequency of the realization. Yeah. Okay, what do you want here? The transition taking place in your life right now will intimately affect those around you and will chart your life's current direction. It may not be in your nature to ask for help, but that is the most appropriate action at this time. This is not a time to go it alone. And it comes out with all your collaboration. Like this is you have a team. We all have a team. I mean, that might not be your exact team, but they're willing to collaborate with you. You know what I mean? So you may decide to seek advice from a professional counselor or teacher. Your choice may be to consult your personal guides and angels or seek guidance from your higher self. The important point in choosing this card is that you accept that there are times when each of us requires assistance in moving through the inevitable changes and transitions in this lifetime. And like I said, going through all these changes, going through awakenings, it's not always easy because it does come right out with the awakening card underneath all of like the collaboration and, so going through these awakenings, it's not an easy, it can really rock our worlds, like I said, and create a lot of mind effery. It's trying to stay balanced. Yeah, this is magnetic energy. This card connects you to the energy fields of the earth and your heart connection. Your heart connection to her. You may be feeling disconnected and alone. You may need a boost of unconditional love to aid in overcoming a difficult situation. Perhaps you simply could use a dose of grounding in the moment. Take an opportunity today to find a place in nature, no matter how small, and reconnect your energy with that of the planet. Use all your senses and really feel this magnetic connection. This is Mother Earth energy. It nurtures you and grounds in your being with the love and stability you need to help you realize the transience of challenges and the magnificent miracles of life. Because that was what it's all about. That was what the whole download was about. Oh my God. the crystalline grid, like bringing the love to the crystalline grid. So it has like right here, it has underneath here, it has like the joy of life and the Arcturians with the remembrance, right? What's underneath that? The magical realms, yeah. The magical realms are all in nature. With the remembrance, what's under the remembrance again? The lineage is not forgotten. Yeah. That makes complete sense how they're doing that. And then what's underneath that one? The expansion. Yeah, the expansion. You know, because that's exactly what the magnetic energy is going to be doing, the expanding. Okay, so what's this one here? Let's see. Number 14. Maybe this is going to be a shorter read today. Gratitude. Gratitude is a very powerful energy which can open both the heart and mind to all the wondrous blessings we are given. Take time each and every day to offer your deepest heartfelt gratitude for all that you have and are given. Make a conscious effort to look for all the good that is flowing into your life. Send your love to all those you cherish and love. Your acknowledgement of the divine flow that supports and provides you opens your energy to a powerful way. You will become your own bright light, even in the darkest of times. Yeah. The awakenings, like I said, they start off really rough. But then they end with miracles. Yeah, this is the Alm. The meaning of this card is twofold. Firstly, it is calling for more time in meditation and prayer. Energetically, you are needing some time alone with yourself in your inner space. Through meditation, you are able to connect more deeply with your higher self and your guides. And that's why they wanted me to talk about my meditations, which I don't normally talk about. Through meditation, you are able to connect more deeply with your higher self and your guides. Oh, I already did that, sorry. Energetically, this is vital for you. Secondly, this card calls you to focus on the power of your voice to facilitate the opening of your throat chakra. And the throat chakra came out here. And notice how they made, you know, this card's, whatever, spirit, you're funny. This vocal expression, whether through chant, prayer, or even singing, is important for you right now. Okay, I heard singing your highest praises. Okay, this one here. Wisdom Guide. Ooh, because you have Baba Yaga here. So, Wisdom Guide is here to help you with taking in new information and teachings. Whether you are taking courses, going back to school, or learning a new skill or craft, you will find that you are able to process and retain new information more easily. Wisdom Guide also helps you to gain new insights and understanding through the intuitive channels, turning your knowledge into wisdom. So that's why they're like, you know, like the Star Child, the Ascension, and the Health. Wow, that's cool. Okay, so what else here? Oh, this one. I can't remember what number that was. Was it 20? Yeah, number 20. Number 20. Let's see here. What does number 20 have to say? The unscripted journey. Isn't that interesting? Unscripted journey. Endless opportunities. Okay, the path you now tread is delicious confluence of divine destiny and unscripted spontaneous life. To embrace this journey, remember that change can bring blessings. You may be surprised at how much you can now leave behind without feeling concerned or anxious. You will be able to travel lighter than you ever imagined, just as the butterflies leave the chrysalis. That's funny, spirit. What was that here? leave the chrysalis behind, when it is time to spread its new formly wings, you too shall be ready to discard what you once held within. You can then expand in accord with the natural evolution of your soul. The past has served a purpose. You can feel good about what has been and about where you are heading. This oracle brings confirmation of a significant change taking place in your life, according to the inner timing and awakening of the soul. Trust in the natural timing of your emergence. No kidding. I love how that happens. I just love it. That's amazing. Is that all there is, Spirit? And now here I'm like, oh, is all of that all there is? And normally I'm complaining because it's too long, and now I'm complaining it's too short. Oh, God, it's funny. Well, there you go. That's it. Well, the remembrance. Yeah, the universal love. This is beautiful. Okay, Spirit, that's all I have. So, okay, I'm going to send you all my love and light. I'm going to bid you all a good day, and I hope this video finds you well. And hopefully the changes aren't too hard. But just remember, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if you love it, let it go. Bye, everyone.